what is this? And so the musician starts playing this one song called One Thing Remains. And it's very old. I told this story before and someone said I aged myself just with that one statement. And the chorus says like your love never fails and never gives up and never runs out on me. And I just remember they kept singing that.
Yes.
And I remember just standing there and then like just like that. I was like, oh my gosh, my life has been like so backwards. And I just started weeping, just like like the hide your face kind of weep where I'm just staring at the floor.
Yeah.
And just like, I realized there was a God, that he loved me and he still loved me despite how much I was trying to avoid him, how much I hated him. And so, I would say that's kind of like that my reversion moment where I decided like my life has to change from this day forward. I remember I walked out of that basically a new man, and it confused a lot of my family and a lot of my high school friends too.
The friends that were with you, did they notice it right away?
I think so.
Anything?
Yeah. I really don't remember anything that happened after that, like with conversations. I remember this one guy who was like the leader of like this Protestant ministry I went with. I remember him and I talked for a bit on our way back to campus, but I just remember distinctly walking from the south side of campus, just like looking at the ground as I'm walking and just thinking like my life can't be the same. That's all I really remember. It was very much like I don't know.
Like I'm so on the wrong path right now.
Yeah, it was very much like that whole turning over of my life.
So what did you do with that?
I did a lot. And so
what was the first thing you did?
The first thing I did was I came back to that Protestant ministry.
Okay.
I kept going back to it. And so they kind of became that community that I needed to just kind of show what it meant to have a community. And then they kind of like led me in like these very basic like Christian like prayer, Bible study, stuff like that. And so I was super, 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 super active. I was excited to be there. Every Wednesday night they called large group. I was in their Bible studies, and then lunch I was always eating with them. Whenever people were hanging out, I was always with them.
So were you in the process of converting at that point?
Yeah, I was. I mean, what I tell people is I was essentially like an evangelical. And like that ministry, we did a lot of on-campus evangelization. And so we would just go up to people and just like, hey, like, what do you think about Jesus? Like, who do you think he is? Well, let me tell you the gospel. And so we would do stuff like that. And so they were kind of, walking alongside me, while at the same time on Sundays, I was going to mass with my brother. And
going to Catholic mass with your brother. Okay.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, probably the Holy Spirit, I just felt like I needed to be there for Sunday.
Okay.
Maybe it was just this sense of obligation. But I mean, St. Mary's in of itself was just amazing. So it was beautiful to me. And I remember, every Sunday I would go there. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturdays, I was with my Protestant friends. And I also remember, this is all in the fall. Again, a lot happens within the span of
that short amount of time.
Yeah, a lot happened. And I just remember there was a point where I was starting to question a lot of like why I'm Catholic and what's the point of doing what we do. And a lot of my Protestant brothers and sisters were also questioning, why do I have to go to mass? Like, why is there a Mary statue at the front? And why is there like why do you guys do these things? And I didn't know. And I was like, I don't know.
Did your brother know that you were doing this other stuff?
Yes.
What did he say?
Well, he was actually part of the reason why too. So he was also had this major reversion 2 years prior with an evangelical group, a different one.
Okay.
And so he didn't, I forgot what exactly happened, but he just like encouraged me to visit like the ministry he was in, and then St. Mary's, and then all these other ones. And so, I mean, I just actually learned this yesterday, where my brother and his best friend, before I was going into A&M, were like praying for my conversion as I was entering A&M.
Oh,
I just
wow.
learned this, yeah, and I was like, oh, that's really cute. I'm thankful for that. But
So he had an experience similar to yours.
yes, yeah. I'm not really sure the details of that, but I just remember he was much more active in the youth group than I was. But I remember like something changed also in him,
Okay.
when he got to A&M.